Welcome back. It's time to talk politics with our State House insiders, Antoine Seawright, our Democratic strategist, Dave Wilson, our Republican strategist. Let's dive into the latest developments on the presidential race involving Nikki Haley. There is some talk now, at least from the former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, that if Trump is the nominee, he should select the former governor, former UN ambassador, as his running mate for the VP ticket. Dave, what are you hearing about this?
Nikki Haley's gaining a lot of momentum in a lot of different places. The support that she got from Americans for Prosperity this week just shows one more place where momentum is beginning to get traction for Nikki. The other part about it is, for our former governor, she is drawing a group of people in who are not necessarily Donald Trump supporters. And so they may be looking at the calculus of this and saying, here's an opportunity to bring somebody in who is an outsider for us and back into the fold, and really honestly stick it in the eye of Ron DeSantis, who, at least from what I'm hearing on the ground in Iowa, is gaining some traction there and could be giving Donald Trump a run for his money.
Well, I've said from the very beginning, everyone who's announced and filed paperwork to run for the Republican nomination are not running to win the nomination. Some are running for political exercise. Some are running for relevancy. Some are running to keep their name in the conversation for cycles to come. In this case, Haley being a part of the conversation is going to help her, whether it's in future Republican politics or in this case as potential nods and winks as a running mate. Ideally for her, she has ran a race of running away from Trump, but embracing Trumpism, which is her way of staying closely connected to Trump, knowing that at any point in time, he will be the Republican nominee based on what we've seen from the preference of Republican primary voters.
As far as campaigning goes, Ron DeSantis is supposed to be in Prosperity tomorrow campaigning. Do we expect to see more of these candidates between now and February, or just the two or three top people in the polls in South Carolina? Antoine?
Well, I think you'll see, certainly on the Democratic side, you will see certainly a high influx of supporters of Joe Biden and administration at very high levels coming into the state because South Carolina is the first in the nation, and you will see that being elevated. And I think on the Republican side, this idea of running to be relevant and running close to number two, or running for the number two spot, will automatically assure that Republican candidates will continue to come to the state, because the one thing about South Carolina, both on the Democratic side and the Republican side, we tend to decide the political direction of both parties when it comes to presidential politics.
That's very true. And as a matter of fact, JR, when you take a look at Ron DeSantis coming into South Carolina, he's going to be in the upstate. He's going to be in Prosperity. He's speaking at the Citadel dinner down in Charleston tomorrow night. And that's going to be a big issue for Nikki Haley, because that is exactly in the same area that she was at just the other day, drawing a crowd of over 1,000 folks. This is a place where we have to start keeping our eye on what's going on in Iowa, because if Ron DeSantis gets within 5 points of Donald Trump, that's a very different way of looking at this race going into New Hampshire and then into South Carolina. But I think until Iowa is over with, we're probably not going to be seeing nearly as much as we're going to see in the month of February in South Carolina.
And a lot of attention will be put on the state of South Carolina after the holidays, correct?
Well, I think
absolutely.
The attention is there now, and it will continue to be even post the South Carolina primary and the Republican primary and the Democratic primary, because people ultimately look back and say South Carolina ultimately decided the direction of the election of November.
And Antoine and I both get contacts from national media all the time asking us what's going on the ground in South Carolina, because there is just so much activity here. And there will continue to be, especially as you start looking at those outlier candidates who are saying, can I make a difference? Can I get my name? Can I keep a level of relevance and at least have some leverage for whoever the nominee is once we get through the primaries here in South Carolina in February?
All right. Dave Wilson, Antoine Seawright. Guys, thank you so very much for your time. As always, if you want to see more about the political races, you can simply go to our website tonight, WLTX.com.